Hello and welcome. The map is Cloud Kingdom. It's either that or Daybreak because they're so similar, but I'm 65% sure that this is in fact Cloud Kingdom. Now it's time to introduce our players. In the red corner in the bottom, we have Barcode. In the top right corner, we have our blue Protoss, Barcode. So I think maybe I'll refer to this one as either red or 1, and maybe this one is either blue or 2. They could be the same person. It might, in fact, be the same person playing himself. And he's just so good. His APM is so high. That's just how he practices. He plays against himself at the same time. It's pretty insane. This guy's really good. I guess that was... maybe that's why he's called Barcode. Maybe some kind of experimental test subject, given powers beyond human understanding, allowing him to face off and play 2 games at the same time while still playing 1 game, because he's just that epic. And we have a gateway on the way for red. And a gateway on the way for blue. Red and blue. Red versus blue. Who will win? Sounds like some sort of color code competition. Don't know. Doesn't make any sense. It's just weird. Obviously trying to protect their secret identities. They might be superheroes. Super Starcraft 2 heroes. And they're trying to protect their identities so they can keep saving your lives. Because that's what it's all about. It's about saving people's lives. We have a bit of a chat going down. They've obviously just paused, but as it's a replay, we don't have to wait for any of those pauses. And poor old Blue spilt some stuff on himself. He's so good he even converses with himself. Damn, this Barcode player is amazing. We have Cybernetics Core on the way for red. And I'm sure we'll have a Cybernetics Core, there we go, on the way for blue. Probe's just high-fived. You know, how you doing there, red? No, I'm good. You, blue? Yeah, I'm cool. I'm awesome. I'm fantastic, man. Yeah, it's awesome being a probe. We don't even get paid. We don't have to complain about minimum wage because we get paid nothing. Yeah, maybe it's not so great to be a probe. We have a Zealot about to pop out for red. There he is. Hello, Zealot. He's going to greet that blue probe. How you doing there, buddy? Have a Psyblade to the face. None of these people give a nice reception to probes. Have you noticed? It's not very nice. We have 2 gateways now for our blue Protoss. And this Barcode probe is annoying this Barcode Zealot, because that's what Barcode probes do. They taunt you constantly. I'm in your base. That's what they do constantly. It's very annoying. And we have the gateway just about to finish up for blue, and there it is. It is now done. And we have Stalkers on the way. Or a Stalker done, rather. No Stalkers on the way. We have a little Stalker out for red as well. Just going to chase this probe. Get back to your base. What are you doing here? You are not welcome. We have a hidden base for red. Just chilling outside the bottom corner. Trouble is, if blue's going for some seriously early aggression, this might not be the best idea. Not to mention the fact that if he scouts it, things could go horribly wrong. And we have another gateway, and a robo on the way for red. And we have our Twilight Council on the way for blue. These people's names are really just confusing me with their colors and everything. It's just so weird. Anyway, we've got our Twilight Council, so he may go for some sort of blink play. He probably will go for some kind of blink play, or maybe some sort of DT rush, something like that. And the Nexus, nope, it is indeed blink. And the Nexus is just about to finish up for our red player. It is very difficult to tell between these players, I assure you. It is quite difficult. Quite difficult indeed. I have to look at the mini-map just so I can check who people are. We have some gateways going down for both players. We have an observer heading over to blue's base. And blue is still getting his blink. We have 3 gateways and a robo for blue, so he's definitely going to go for some kind of blink play. Use an observer, just blink up from here, harass, or just kill some buildings. And oh no, we have a probe scout. Will he see this? Will he check? No, he goes past the red base. He still does not know that that red base is there, and that is going to be quite horrible for him, provided that red can actually survive. We have some more gateways on the way for blue. Just about to finish up. Just about to finish up. A couple of zealots and a sentry guarding over here with a stalker, making sure nothing too weird is going on. We have a pylon being dropped over here. He might be able to warp in from the high ground. I can't quite see it, can he? I don't think he can. I don't think he can. Blue looks like he's gearing up for an attack. I still want to know if he's going to happen across this expansion. I can just see it happening, and if that happens, that's going to be horrible for red, but he is going to be blinking up here and doing all sorts of horrible damage. We have the observer now. He can attack from the high ground. There we go, blink up. Immortal's down, and it looks like red is going to have an insanely hard time trying to hold this. Another sentry going to go down. Some zealots. Probes are being pulled from the red player, trying to fend off against blue. That's a lot of damage if we have a look at the units lost tab. Units lost 10, 11. We've got a huge advantage to blue now, just from this attack. Lots of probes falling. The mortals falling, sentries falling, zealots falling, stalkers falling. Everything is falling. But it's not falling in love, I'm afraid. It is just falling as in 6 feet under, pushing up daisies, being very dead, being deaded, being the past tense of alive. We have the observer just scouting on in, probably going to go for yet another blink. He is really going to keep pushing and just drilling our poor red player. We have a zealot being warped in on the high ground. And he's going to attack the front at the same time. Our hidden base does not seem to be doing our red friend very much good. And he's lost a gateway. He may lose the pylon as well. Nope, it's going to just barely survive. We have a stalker trying to slowly pick away at this pylon. Pick. He's trying to kill that pylon off. We have our observer out for the red player as well. But it's not doing him too much good at this point. He loses a stalker for our blue player. Blue player does, however, need to kill off red, because otherwise this expansion is just going to put red quite far in the lead if he is allowed to stay alive for much longer. And red is going to have his gateway finishing up soon. Where is that gateway? There's the gateway. We have the gateway. Gateways are being finished. We have another immortal on the way. Red actually has a supply advantage. He's got 3 immortals now. Blue needs to scout this base. He really needs to scout this base. Looks like we got another zealot. That pylon still hasn't been taken out, and now we have another big attack here. Might take out the robo as well, but an immortal's just going to pop out at least. But that robo is down. That's pretty heavy, costly. And he's just going to blink out of there. Nothing lost for him. Just taking out a robo, pylon, all good stuff for our blue player. But red is still in a supply lead. Most of that is workers, I think. Let's have a look there. He is in fact ahead in army and worker supply. But I'm not sure how well this is going to work out for our blue player. He really needs to know about that next base. We have a robotics facility and a Twilight Council on the way now for our red guy. A bit of a proxy pylon. We have a bit of an attack at our blue player's base. Might do a bit of damage. It's 3 stalkers to 2. With a bit of micro, and he's going to lose. Oh, there we go. We've got another stalker out there. Got a bit of blink micro happening over here. And he's pulling all of his stalkers, all of those blue stalkers, having to run on home to try and clear this out before it does too much damage. Very nice play by the red player, giving himself a little bit of breathing room. And this hidden base is just doing so well for him. He's doing extremely well. And blue is sensing that he is behind, so naturally he is building a dark shrine to try and get out those Dark Templar. Though at least red does have an observer somewhere, I think. Yeah, I think one of these is his. I can't tell. They are very difficult to see what color they are because they're cloaked, which makes them sort of bluish. All of them are kind of bluish. It's very annoying. In fact, I think both of these are the blue player's observers, in fact. Yeah, they are. Well, that explains why they're particularly bluish this morning. We have an expansion just done and probes being transferred for our blue player. This one's already doing quite well for himself in the red corner. And we have another expansion coming up, nearly finished. It's like 70% of the way done for our red player. So he is still going to maintain his base lead for this entire game. And blue loses a stalker, that poor stalker. He just walked into those immortal cannons of death and just falling apart in this. May lose another stalker. Needs some blink micro. There we go, he's going to blink back. But blue is hurting. Huge supply lead for our red player, but now he's losing a lot. Why is he losing a lot? What's going on here? Ah, we have an attack in the main, Dark Templars and Stalkers, and this could do quite a lot of damage. But we have an Observer out for our red player. So it pretty much took out all of these probes. Well, that explains why the supply dropped. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention. Blink just about to finish up for our red player. Another robotics facility on the way, and more gateways for our blue player. Even though red lost a ton of probes, he's still in the lead with these 3 bases. Oh, how I wish you would scout, blue. Scout, please, just send a probe over here. Just try and expand there or something. Come on, blue, please. Blink up into the main. He's going to take out a few stalkers and then probably blink back. He might take out this gateway. Will it be cancelled? It is in fact cancelled. Forces a cancel on the gateway and then blinks out with 2 stalkers being left behind. Oh no! Those poor stalkers just left behind to die. It's every man for himself, or every stalker for himself. This pylon is still alive! How is that even possible? It's been doing quite a lot of work, and this immortal is now going to die to Dark Templar unless some of these observers get nice and close. There we go. A couple of probes die, but it's more of a loss for our blue player because those Dark Templar are quite expensive. They believe in only eating imported food and all sorts of stuff, so they are quite expensive. He may pick off this expansion. He has just picked off the expansion, so now it is 2 base to 2 base, unless he expands again, and he's going to have to do just that. But we have another Dark Templar over here, which is going to make expanding there just a little bit difficult. Red might just go all in and try and smash blue at this point in time. Blue is warping in a ton of zealots, and immortals just about to finish up. We have pylons on the way. Looks like that Dark Templar was finished off somehow. Oh, there he is. He's still just being an absolute pain. Dark Templar. Oh, what an annoyance. They're like mosquitoes. Except mosquitoes don't tend to one-shot everything. And they are a little bit easier to see than invisible. They're just a little bit small, that's all. And that Dark Templar is finally going to get killed off. We have some Stalkers in the main base of red who are going to have to micro against these zealots. And we have a big push at the front of blue's base. We have some force fields going down. The supply is quite even, actually, except now it's falling for red because there is an attack in his main, still being cleared out. We have these Dark Templars all over the place. Red might just lose this unless he can finish off this base over here. But this hidden base has been doing so well for him this whole game. Come on, Red, you can do it. I have faith in you. More Dark Templars being warped in over here, continuing up the pressure on Red's base. And it looks like he will also hold against this attack on his front. And it looks like Red is going to be losing this game. Unless something exceptional happens. Needs more observers. These Dark Templar are just taking everything out. This poor mineral line has been under fire for so long. Bit of a stalker battle over here. But he needs that observer back at his base. Not this one. This one. There we go. We finally have the observer out, and these Dark Templar are going to die to the immortal, but not before taking out so many probes. 12 kills on that Dark Templar. 12! And this pylon's going to fall. At least the probe was out and managed to get out safely. We have some probes being transferred. More probes being transferred from this next base. Oh no! But this pylon here, I think he's going to see it. I think he might realize that there's a base here now. He needs to change that waypoint. He needs to set it back onto those minerals he has now. It's actually overshooting the minerals, so it's not going to really help him there. He needs to readjust that again. but I think blue might just know that there's an expansion down there now. We have huge stalker force for blue, just eliminating what red has left of these stalkers, which are all on such low health, trying to blink to freedom, but a couple of them are going to die. Blink forward, 1 stalker, 2 stalker, and we have another blink forward for this one. There we go. We have more Dark Templars being warped in. This whole base, I don't think these probes ever got a safe chance to mine, except maybe in the first 2 seconds of the game, but between the Dark Templars, the Blink Stalkers, red has kept up the pressure. The Immortal is, no, it's just an Observer, has just popped out, but these Dark Templars are doing so much damage indeed. Even though he can see them, he doesn't actually have enough to clear them out. They're going to maul this Immortal. It is going to die in the most horrible way possible, and the next Stalker and the Stalker after it, they will all die. Bit of a push by red, going after the third expansion of blue. Lots and lots and lots and lots of Stalkers. I'm surprised that blue still hasn't attacked red's base here, but I don't think he needs to, because this base is about to fall, and this base has got pretty much everything in it about to die as well. So it's all or nothing for red, and it looks like it might just be nothing rather than all. All these Stalkers running back to try and help out his own base now, but these Dark Templars are just taking out everything. If we look at the income tab for red, he's ahead in minerals but behind in gas. He's managed to kill off a couple of probes at blue's natural expansion, but he's still behind in supply. And if we have a look at how is he ahead in army? He is in fact behind in both army and worker. He has lost his lead that he had from that nice hidden base, which is still remaining hidden. He's losing a few probes for blue. Quite a few probes, in fact. Let's have a look at some of the kills on these Stalkers. They're sharing them quite evenly. We have probes attacking these poor red Stalkers. We have the blue Stalkers attacking them as well. All of these probes are going to fall, and maybe some of these blue Stalkers as well. We have some... are those red's probes? He's got his probes attacking. It's a probe on probe attack now, with Stalkers mixed in just for the hell of it, because it's really just mainly probe force. You know, that he's maxed out in just pure probes. It's the most efficient way to kill Stalkers. They're a bit like Zerglings. But there's basically nothing left for red, apart from this base, which has now finally been discovered and is getting picked off by a probe, a Zealot and a Dark Templar. Did you hear the one about the probes, Zealot and Dark Templar? They killed the Nexus! And a lot of probes. It was horrible. It was a sad day that day. We have lots of buildings being lost for blue now. He's going to try and take it back with a few Stalkers. The question I have is, does red have an observer? Because if he doesn't, this Dark Templar could do quite a bit of damage, because he can't actually make anything. He can't really make anything unless he has some probes. He needs to build something. Actually, I'm not sure why he left that game. Blue didn't really have much either. It was quite even, actually. He was even ahead in supply, was old red, just taking out some of these bases. He could have plopped down like a pylon or like a robo or something over here, maybe even a nexus. He had 428 minerals, so I'm surprised he left, actually. Anyway, Blue Barcode has won the game! Congratulations to Blue Barcode. Cheerio, everyone. I hope you enjoyed.